morning. Oh, wow. Isn't this a bit of an adventure? I might get you to help me when I get down here. Oh, wow. Look at your pump. Isn't that great? There's hardly any water as well, which is even more extraordinary. Okay. Let's just... Oh, thank you. How are you?
Good, Blue.
That's good. Oh, we're a bit sloshy. Wow, look at this incredible thing. What have we got here?
It's a water-powered pump. Pumps water by the fall and the flow of the water.
Isn't it amazing? And I always thought that when you had a creek, you had to have it like running with water and lots of water to be able to pump it up. But you don't need hardly any.
This pump can work off like the amount of water out of a tea kettle.
Wow, and it's not even very loud, is it? It's
no.
Just, it's quite quiet.
It's actually a good soothing sound.
So how does it work? Obviously there's no power because it's not a generator or anything.
Yeah, no power at all fuel. So it's got, this is the supply pipe.
Yeah.
So it's coming down from 30 metres up further. This one here is working on about a 1.5 metre fall from the intake of the pipe to the pump here. And that flow is about 1.6 litres a second at the moment, driving the pump that's flowing in the pipe.
Yeah.
And that fall, and that as the water flows into the bottom of the base of the pump, it expands the tyre, and as the tyre expands it lifts up the top plate, which is the bore, and the piston's fixed, so the bore slides up, compresses the water in the pump chamber, pushes it out up the delivery line up to the tank. And then when it drops back down again, it sucks water back into the pump chamber for the next upward stroke. And when it drops down, it's still blowing.
Yeah. And so that pumps all the way up there for how far?
All the way up to 48 metres high.
48 metres?
Over 180 metres of piping.
Wow. So is that all you need there, or do you have another pumping system set up somewhere else?
I have another pump further up on top of the other one. I only have two in the creek. One's enough for our needs.
Yeah.
But I have two for the testing of the pump before I send it away.
Yeah, just make sure it all works.
And in their site conditions. So everyone's got different site conditions, the fall, the flow, and how high they're pumping. This pump in the first place was that we haven't got power, and I didn't.
You haven't got what, sorry?
We haven't got power.
Oh yeah, yep.
So mains power, so we run standalone system.
Yep.
And it's too far to run the power down to here.
That's right, yeah.
With 240, and to run a firefighter or a petrol pump, it would suck this dry in a couple of minutes, and it'd be useless.
Is that because it sucks more water
than what the stream is producing? This stream, at the moment, we're coming out of the wet season, so there's more water now than there would be in the next couple of months. Yeah. This even goes down to half a litre.
It's not even flowing. It's just amazing. And what I've noticed, which I really love, is that there's hardly any murky water or pollution or anything. It's quite clear, isn't it?
Yes, and it stays. The aeration and the cascading of the water exhausting out of the pump actually helps to keep the water clean.
Yeah, and so does that help when you take it up to your place for filtration and things like that? You wouldn't really need to focus too much on it.
You want to pump it as clean as possible.
Yeah.
But it's also aerated as well.
Yeah.
And aeration of water is the best thing for water.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
It helps to keep it cool as well.
Oh, what have you got going on here? Little peachy. Bit of a mountain goat in the background there, hey? Hello, Soxy. Hello.
Making sure we're safe.
Making sure we're safe, yeah. All right, I might get you to help me over here. Thanks, Brett. Okay, let's go. A pair of gumboots or what?
Probably.
Let's go. So we'll head this way.
Well, you can go two ways. Either you can cross over the log, or if you want to go under the log. There's two options. That's the worst part just there.
Okay.
This is my favourite place up here. Always come down here on a hot summer's day to cool off and sit and relax and meditate with the pump going. So just follow me down my little track. I even have a bench to sit on.
Wow, it is lovely, isn't it?
And this is my little pump, little PA8. As you can see, the water that's flowing out of this little built-up rock wall is the main flow of the creek because it's coming out of the pump. What we see up further than the pump is just like a ponding effect. And this one here is another one that just stays crystal clear all the time while the pump's working. 36 metres of piping up to the weir where the intake is for this one. And this one's running, it's pumping about 48 metres up, this pump. And on a smaller flow, because the further down we go, the more water comes out of the creek through little springs everywhere. Yeah. So the stream picks up more as we go down further. And this is the water we drink and bathe and do everything with at home.
Great, isn't it? Oh, look at this big hill again. So up this way? So what have we got running over here?
This is my testing facilities.
Oh, yeah.
So I do all the tests of the pumps. Before I send them away, I always make sure that they're working to that correct site.
Oh, yeah.
That they're going. I've actually got a garden hose. The hose is just running into it slowly, but it's working off the garden hose going through the pump.
Wow. So that goes to show you don't need much of a
much water to drive these pumps at all. So you can see the water line in the clear plastic.
Yep.
And once it gets up to close to about a metre, the pump will discharge. Because it's rising. That pump is actually rising very slowly, but it is rising.
Yep. And then once that rises to a full,
once it gets to a certain point, then it's got exhausting happens. So the water comes out, cascades out. Yep. The whole top section drops back down, sucks water into the pump chamber, filling up upwards straight.
Wow, there you go. And when you're testing, how far do you pump it up to the top?
Depends on how high that their side is.
Oh, yeah.
So I can either do it by turning the pressure at the tap down, so working off the pressure gauge.
Yeah.
Or I'd rather physically, if I've got a site that's 130 metres or even 180 metres, I'll physically pump to 180 metres to the top of the hill.
Isn't that incredible? 180 metres.
25 minutes to walk to the top of the hill.
25 minutes. And how long does it take for the water to get up there?
Oh, the water will take, well, once the line's full,
yeah,
it's there straight away.
Straight away, yeah, right.
But it might take probably 2 hours to fill the line up to go all that way.
Yep.
And but there's 600 metres of line, of polypipe to the top of that.
Yeah, wow. And then up here, so is that your water tank that you actually feed?
Up there is the green tank where the pumps we just come from down in the creek are pumping to.
Bit of a walk up there and just check that out as well, shall we?
To see the output.
Yeah. Abseiling
track.
class.
We used to have steps here, but the high rainfall washed them away again.
Oh, did it? And it needs to be this high in order to have the gravity.
The gravity feed down back to the house.
Feed it down, yep.
Actually, I could have it a bit higher because we are on the lower side. Probably only got about 13 psi at the moment, 13 or 14 psi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but I can put a little tank and go up further to try and get that 30 psi.
Yeah.
That most houses run on.
Yeah. Do you filtrate your water while it's up there, or?
I have got a filter on it, yes,
yeah.
But only a filter just for your organic matter.
Yeah.
Because you've got leaves and that are breaking down, so that's the only thing that I filter out.
That's right, and like what we saw, there was no murky water going on, so you don't really have that problem
with dirty water.
Yeah.
No. So this is the line going into the tank. So that's what the pumps are pumping to. 2 pumps are pumping out from 47 to 49 metres. So that's probably producing about 3,500–4,000 litres a day at the moment. The amount of water. Doesn't look much at the moment, but you add it up over a 24-hour period. When it gets full, it overflows out of the tank, and it runs back down to the creek where the pumps are, but it's all above the pump. So I'm just recycling that water, but at the same time I'm irrigating the rainforest.
Great.
Lovely.
Thank you. So this is the end result, hey? Nice, fresh, clean water. Lovely. Isn't that great? Socks! Do you want a bath?
Yeah, she doesn't like me spraying water at her.
Oh, doesn't she? Some parsley there, a little bit of pineapple. Oh.
Pineapple, aloe vera.
Lots of aloe vera.
Getting all the pups. I'm just trying to get it rooted.
Chives? Are they?
Yep,
Yeah,
garlic
garlic
chives, normal chives. Then I've got Davison plum, which is a native tree here.
Yeah.
And that's a native olive tree.
Great. Oh, what's this one?
That's a
ornamental.
South American plant. I can never pronounce the name of it.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, it has nice green flowers with the red, green leaves with this nice red
flower. Yeah.
And then when the seed, it clicks and it just like the seeds will go 6-7 feet in all directions.
Oh really? And that's what they do to reproduce little pups?
Pups, yeah.
Wow.
And a bit of comfrey.
Comfrey's
Very good
great,
for compost toilets as well.
Oh, tell me about that.
So you just put it in your, it just helps to break it all down. The quicker it breaks down and the more bugs you have in it, the less smell you've got. So we've got the compost toilet, but pick the leaves and put it in your compost toilet. You've got to throw a bit of dry matter every time you go and use it.
Yeah.
So every couple of days I throw a handful of comfrey leaves in there, help it break down quicker.
Okay.
A lot of people can't handle it. If you got a bruise on your leg or anywhere on your body, you put the comfrey leaf on it, it will draw the bruising out.
Oh, does
and it's that painful. Some people can't handle the drawing power of it.
Wow.
It's that strong. It's a nice.
Thanks, Brett.
Well, we fill two at the same time.
Lovely. Cheers.
Cheers. So nice rainforest spring water.
Oh, delicious. Oh, yum. I love spring water. Isn't it beautiful? Rainwater. Well, from the creek, isn't it?
Rainwater's half cycle water.
What is it?
Half cycle water.
Oh.
Spring water's done the full cycle. See, it's been evaporated back up into the clouds, dropped back down to the ground, and into the ground, back down deep, and then it's come back up to the surface again. So it's got all the minerals. Oh. Rainwater hasn't done that cycle.
Get all the great minerals and all the nutrients from within the soil as well.
Soil, yep.
It's really lovely. Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. It was a real fun little journey down to the creek, wasn't it?
It is a little bit.
But we made it there, so thanks. Good on you. Good on you, mate.